Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
What's up, guys? It's Brittany, and welcome to another episode of Randomness. What's up, guys? Welcome. Today, I want to talk about something that I think most of us have felt. That pressure to have it all figured out. You know, like that voice in the back of your mind that says you should be further along by now, that you should know what you're doing, where you're going, and who you're supposed to be. And if you don't, it makes you feel like you're falling behind. But here's the truth. Nobody has it all figured out. Not the person you follow on Instagram who looks like they do. Not your friend who just got their dream job. Not even the people giving advice about it. Everyone's just figuring it out as they go. Some of us are just better at pretending. Somewhere along the line, we were told that life was supposed to have a timeline. You know, graduate at this age, get married by that age, have kids by another, find your purpose, buy a house, build a perfect life. But what no one told us is that life isn't linear. It's layered, unpredictable, and sometimes painfully out of order. The truth is, figured out isn't a destination. It's an illusion. Even the people who seem like they've got it all together still question themselves. You know, they still have days where they feel lost, scared, or unsure. They just don't always talk about it. Let's be honest, it's really, really hard not to compare yourself in today's world. We open social media and we see people announcing promotions, relationships, new homes, perfect little lives. And even if you're happy for them, a small part of you still whispers, "Why not me?" But here's something important to remember. You only see the highlight reel, not the behind the scenes. You don't see the late nights, the anxiety, the doubt, or the moments they feel like quitting. So when you compare your in-progress life to someone else's filtered version, you're always going to feel behind because you're comparing your reality to their performance. Your timing isn't late. It's just yours. We've been conditioned to think success means stability, money, or a clear plan, but success can look completely different depending on who you are. For some, success might mean running a business. For others, it might mean getting out of bed when you don't feel like it. It might mean healing from something that broke you or learning to enjoy your own company. You don't have to follow anyone else's blueprint. You can make your own. And maybe the point of life isn't to figure it all out, but to feel it all through. To learn, to change, to grow, and to keep showing up even when you don't know exactly where it's going. Think about it. If you had everything figured out, if you knew exactly what was going to happen and when, wouldn't life be kind of boring? Uncertainty is uncomfortable, but it's also where the magic lives. It's where surprises happen. It's where growth happens. It's where you discover who you really are, not who you are supposed to be. Not knowing forces you to trust yourself, to take risks, to learn to pivot when things don't go as planned. And honestly, that's how we build resilience. You don't need to have all the answers right now. You just need to keep showing up. Give yourself permission to be in progress, to not know what's next, to change your mind, to start over as many times as you need. Because the truth is, there's no deadline for becoming who you're meant to be. You're not behind. You are becoming. The pressure to have it all figured out is one of the biggest lies we've been told. You're not supposed to have it all together. You're supposed to live. You're supposed to try, to fail, to grow, to explore. So next time that voice in your head tells you you're behind, remind yourself you're not late. You're right on time. You're not lost. You're just unfolding. We live in a world that constantly asks, what's next? What's your next goal, your next move, your 5-year plan? And if you don't have an answer, people look at you like you're lost. But here's something we don't talk about enough. Not knowing is normal. Life isn't a straight line. It's messy, unpredictable, and constantly shifting. Yet we've been taught to treat uncertainty like failure. If you're not on a clear path, if you don't have your dream job yet, if you're still figuring yourself out, it feels like you're doing something wrong. But no. Everyone's pretending to have their shit together, okay? They're figuring things out behind the scenes, quietly. It's kind of like we've turned life into a checklist, Graduate, get a job, find love, buy a house, have kids, be successful. And when life doesn't follow that timeline, we panic. But what if the timeline isn't real? What if the whole idea of having it all figured out is just a myth, one that keeps us chasing something that we'll never actually catch? Because the moment you think you've figured it all out, life changes again, You grow, you evolve. Your wants shift. Your priorities change, and that's okay. It means that you're living. We need to start normalizing being in between the phase where things don't make sense yet, where you're trying new things, where you're not sure who you're becoming, but you're not who you used to be. The space in the middle, that's growth. So if you're listening right now and you feel like everyone else is ahead of you, remember this. There is no finish line. There's no deadline on figuring your shit out. And like I said, you're not behind, you're becoming, and that's something worth being proud of. Maybe the point was never to have it figured out at all. Maybe the point was just to keep going, to stay curious, to keep learning who you are, and to let yourself evolve without shame or pressure. Because you don't have to know everything right now. You're supposed to explore, try, fail, change your mind, start again, and grow through it all. So instead of asking yourself, why don't I have it all together yet, or all figured out yet, try asking, what am I learning about myself in this moment? There's power in patience, there's beauty in becoming, and there's peace in knowing that where you are right now, confusion, questions, uncertainty, and all is still part of your path. You don't need all the answers. You just need enough faith to take the next step. Okay, thanks for listening to Randomness. If this episode helped you breathe a little easier today, hit that follow button and share it with someone who needs the reminder. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to keep going. All right, y'all, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. Please make sure to hit that follow button and share Randomness with a friend, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.